We often say we chose a dog because it was cute, because it fit our home, because someone else had one and it looked fun. But after more than 10 years working with dogs, caring for them, training them, observing thousands of human-dog pairs, I can say this very plainly. No choice is unconscious. You are not just choosing a dog. You are choosing a way of living. Every breed carries its own nervous system, its own rhythm, its own way of responding to the world. And strangely, that rhythm often aligns closely with the inner rhythm of the person who chooses it. People drawn to intelligent, task-driven breeds are often people who cannot tolerate idleness. They do not relax by stopping, but by moving by goals, by direction, by the feeling that we are doing something together. These breeds are not easy, but for the right person, living with them feels like sharing life with another mind that reads emotion through a glance. On the other hand, people who choose gentle, friendly dogs that seem to carry sunshine everywhere are rarely as naive as they are assumed to be. They understand very well how exhausting the world can be, and they consciously choose warmth, not as an escape from reality, but as a way to build a stable emotional anchor to come home to. Then, there are people who love small dogs. Society often labels them carelessly, but from a behavioral science perspective, this group shows exceptionally strong capacities for caregiving and empathy. They are sensitive to touch, to breathing, to how deeply another being depends on them. A small dog is not just a pet, it is a shared heartbeat within a private space. Those who live with large, intimidating breeds are among the most misunderstood. Yet real-world experience shows they are rarely aggressive people. More often, they understand the boundary between power and control. They choose a strong animal to practice protection, not intimidation. Many have been wounded themselves, and they recognize in that dog a version of themselves that is finally understood correctly. There are also those who prefer independent, stubborn dogs, dogs that are not eager to please. They do not need flattery or absolute obedience. They respect personality, accept difference, and find meaning in negotiating with a being that has a will of its own. And then there are people who choose rescue dogs. For them, keeping a dog has never been a transaction. It is a relationship between two beings who were once left behind. Every meal, every gentle touch is not only care for the dog, but a quiet reassurance to themselves that what is broken can still heal. The most important thing, rarely spoken aloud, is this. Over time, dogs do not only adapt to you, they change you. Two nervous systems learn to synchronize. The dog that once pulled you forward teaches you how to slow down. The dog that once made you feel safe will one day need you to protect it. This relationship is never static. If you are watching this video and glance down at the dog beside you, try not to ask, "What breed is it?" Or, "Is it easy to raise?" Ask a deeper question instead. What version of yourself does this dog allow you to become? If that question touched something in you, leave a comment and tell us about your dog, its breed, its name, and how it has changed you. This is not a community of people who own dogs. This is a community of people living alongside a being that understands them in a very quiet way. But there is a deeper layer that many dog owners live their entire lives without ever hearing spoken plainly. Dogs do not respond to promises. Dogs do not believe in plans. Dogs only believe in state. The state you bring home every day. The state when you step through the door. The state in your hands when you touch them. Behavioral science calls this nervous system co-regulation. Simply put, a dog's nervous system learns directly from yours, without language, without intention, without, "I love them so much." Many people tell me, "I take such good care of my dog. I buy the best things. I feed it well. Why is it still anxious?" The answer is usually not in the dog. It is in the rhythm of the human. A body that is always rushing, a voice that is always tight, a touch that carries tension. Dogs register all of it, and they respond exactly as biology designed them to, with vigilance, clinging, or withdrawal. When the human begins to slow down, becomes more consistent, loosens control, many behavior problems quietly dissolve. Not because the dog was trained better, but because the dog feels safer. Safety is the foundation of all stable behavior. At some point, if you live with a dog long enough, you realize a truth that is slightly uncomfortable but deeply real. Dogs do not enter your life to serve it. They enter to recalibrate you. They adjust how you walk, how you breathe, how you stay still, how you love without demanding. If this part made you nod or recognize yourself in it, press like on this video. Not for the algorithm, but for yourself as a small marker that you are seeing your dog through a different lens. And if you are living with a dog, feeling confused, loving it deeply yet still feeling helpless at times, subscribe to this channel. Here, we don't just talk about raising dogs by the book. We talk about living with dogs in a way that doesn't exhaust either of you. Leave a comment and share what your dog has taught you about yourself. You may be surprised by other people's answers because it turns out many of us are healing in the same way, just through different coats of fur. And what I want you to see more clearly here is not a list of dog breeds, but the way each type of person enters a relationship with a living being. People who choose highly intelligent, task-driven breeds often do not know how to sit still and love. They love by waking up early, by schedules, by training sessions, by carefully watching every small change. For them, love is not an emotion that flares up and fades, but a sequence of repeated actions. If you belong to this group, you may also love people in the same way. Few words, high responsibility, high expectations, and sometimes forgetting that some beings only need you to be there, without you needing to do anything more. People who choose retrievers or Labradors are different. They are often mistaken for being simple, but in reality they are the group that can hold emotion the best. They are not afraid of too much joy, and not afraid of too much sadness. They are stable enough to live with a being that is always open, always trusting. In a world full of irony and self-protection, choosing a gentle dog is a very conscious act. It says, "I have seen the dark side of life, and I still choose kindness." People who choose small companion dogs often carry a very sensitive nervous system. They feel the slightest changes in breathing, in the body, in emotional state. They understand that some days do not need advice or solutions, only a living being pressed close beside them. For this group, hugging is not weakness. It is biology. It is how the body regulates itself in order to keep going. People who choose power breeds are usually accustomed to being misunderstood. They see in that dog a familiar paradox, an appearance that frightens others, but an interior that needs trust and proper guidance. They do not believe in reckless strength. They believe in disciplined strength. And very often, they are learning how to protect the softest parts of themselves by protecting another living being. People who choose independent, stubborn breeds do not need external validation. They are grounded enough to allow a being that does not obey and still love it. They are not seeking submission. They are seeking mutual respect. For them, a good relationship is not one where everyone agrees, but one that is safe enough to allow disagreement. And people who choose rescue dogs, they are rarely just rescuing a dog. Throughout my entire career, I have never met a rescue dog owner who did not carry a personal story of their own. Saving a dog that was once abandoned is a quiet way of saying to oneself, "I know that feeling, and this time, I won't walk away." This relationship does not need to be perfect. It needs to be real. If you hear this and recognize yourself in one group, or see yourself moving through several groups at different stages of life, that is completely normal. Because the dog you choose reflects who you are at that moment in time. And as you change, that relationship changes with you. In the end, living with a dog is not a story about breeds. It is a story about how you allow yourself to live more slowly, more softly, more strongly, or more kindly through a being that cannot speak, but has never lied to you even once. And to close this entire story, I want you to carry with you one very quiet thought. Dogs do not enter your life to become the perfect version of a breed. They come to become a living mirror. A mirror that does not speak, does not judge, does not demand that you improve immediately. It simply reflects, with great honesty, whether you are living fast or slow, tense or relaxed, loving through control or through presence. Many people ask me, so what is the right way to raise a dog? The answer disappoints some because it is not about food, toys, or training techniques. It lies in the state you bring home every day. When you are calm enough, your dog becomes calm. When you are consistent enough, your dog settles. Not because you trained better, but because the bodies of two living beings have learned how to trust each other. Maybe you started living with a dog because of loneliness, because of stress, because of an empty season in your life. But But if you stay with it long enough, you will notice that you stop looking to the dog to fill the void. You begin to learn how to stay. Stay with emotions, stay with slow days, stay with yourself. And the dog, in its very quiet way, taught you that. If this video made you see your dog differently, press like as a way of honoring the relationship you are in. If you are living with a dog, loving it, but also feeling unsure whether you are doing things right, subscribe to this channel. Here, we don't raise dogs to show off breeds, techniques, or perfection. We learn how to live with dogs without losing ourselves. And if you're ready, leave a very simple comment, your dog's name, and the biggest thing it has taught you. Your story might be the one that helps someone out there feel a little less alone.